It's the Celtics and the Knicks at 7:30 p.m. on WBZ TV Channel 4, Boston. It's 6 o'clock. Live from the heart of New England. The one team that kept the pulse of the news. Jack Williams, Liz Walker, John Henning, Bruce Regler, and Bob Wallbell. This is Eyewitness News, the evening edition. Good evening, everybody. Here's what's happening on the evening edition for this Wednesday, April 6, 1983. Top story at 6. A state revenue department employee accused by Stanley J. Barzak of accepting bribe money and said yesterday that a recording of a telephone conversation he had with Barzak clears him. John Henning is reporting live in the newsroom. John. Well, Jack and Liz, an motion filed by Middlesex Superior Court Raymond v. Palomidriano of Funaska that robbery charges against him be dismissed. Kevin Keenan, Palomidriano's lawyer, said that a transcript of the conversation that the two men had only hours after Barzak's arrest is diametrically opposed to the story Barzak told a grand jury about a $10,000 bribe. The tape was not played for the grand jury, and then in a position that it is outrageous that it wasn't. Keating told the Herald. Francis A. Saracen, another revenue department employee accused of Barzak of taking a bribe, said, "This is what I've said all along. Barzak was trying to set people up. He's trying to pull the same thing on me." Barzak called Palomidriano from a Beacon Hill telephone on June 24th after he was arrested by state police on charge of accepting $10,000 bribe from Sidney E. Ross, owner of the Bay State Run Company in Billerica. Testifying December 7, 1982 before Suffolk County Grand Jury Bourbon alleged corruption in the revenue department. Barzak, a provincial tax examiner, said he gave half the money to Palomidriano, former tax examiner. But Keating says that the transcript contradicts Barzak's claim. "I'm in a lot of trouble. I got involved with Sid Ross, a Bay State carpet company in Billerica, and the state troopers picked me up." Barzak said in the tape. Palomidriano, according to the transcript, told Barzak to get a lawyer and be on tell them what you have. Then, according to the transcript, Barzak asked Palomidriano, "Do you have $5,000 left with you?" "Me? I even got 5 cents, Palomidriano replied. Barzak said that the $5,000 was for someone else in the revenue department. When Palomidriano asked who, Barzak replied, "Yeah, I gave you $5,000. Palomidriano, according to the transcript, replied, "You did not help. Don't start with it." Beep. That's all I need, Charlie. John Henning here in the newsroom. Well, thank you, John. It'll take at least a year for the cleanup to begin. A hazardous waste dump site in Holbrook, a state official said yesterday. The Herald also contaminating and learned that contaminated soil from the Baird and McGuire plant apparently was moved to at least 2 other locations, and that the EPA's promise that a fence around the site was still a promise. Results from an Environment Protection Agency test at the site behind Baird and McGuire Incorporated chemical plant will not be ready until the fall, and then cleanup plans will be made, said Dick Chapin, Deputy Regional Engineer for the State Department of Environmental Quality and Extension. Long testing processes supposed to be reveal how far the toxic contamination reaches beyond the plant's property line and in the neighborhoods and wetlands nearby. Residents within the 2-mile area around the plant have complained of high incidents of cancer and blood disease-related developments. The Herald learned that the state is trying to find out how toxic waste from Baird and McGuire was moved to other locations over the past 25 years. 2 possibilities are whether the removal of earth near the contaminated Hillbrook field, earth what was struck down at a time dump in 1973-74, and the dumping of waste from a cesspool beyond the plant and at the MDC landfill in Braintree. DPA and Baird and McGuire were negotiating about what will put up a fence around the contaminated area. EPA spokesman Paul Keogh said that a federal agency will put up in the fence that the company does not. A consumer group Messages Fair Share met at the state asked to call for reforms in hazardous waste policy. The group has found legislatures that would be tax producers of hazardous waste to create a $25 million state fund to help pay for auto cleanup on the site. Holbrook Selectman Frank McGarney said he is not surprised that the testing at Baird and McGuire will take at least a year because the EPA has proposed for the time of the delay. McGarney said that the federal agency had warned about the lengthy testing even before an emergency at the site last month when heavy rain sent contaminated waste steeping toward the town reservoir. However, citizens in Lowell and Woburn who have dealt with EPA toxic problems in their communities over the years urge Holbrook residents not to take away and see attitude. If they are admitted by a year, it'll probably be a lot longer, said Alan Denley, who lives near the former Silver Chemical Plant in Lowell. They put the fence up and then they'll keep the shooting up, but it won't keep the chemicals in. It's a product mismatch, said Reverend Bruce Young, an environmental activist in Woburn. Long line in Worcester for gas, and guess how much gas is selling for? 13 cents. It's not a joke, but it's for real, as Jerry Knotney, who has been running Jerry Shelf for 30 years in Worcester, held a happy hour from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. yesterday and sold 927 gallons of gasoline for 13 cents a gallon, just a shade under what the state and federal tax on gallon used to be. Bill Shields has a report. I thought of doing it what the legislature was still arguing about how much the old state tax ought to be raised, he said. Knotney 70 hour followed the April 1st increase of 5 cents a gallon on the federal tax of 9 cents and 1.1 cent a gallon increase. And the same day on the state tax 11 cents. The state increase through of Joel W. Connolly, General Manager of the Massachusetts Division of the Automobile Association of America. Connolly said Governor Michael S. Dukakis' reference to the state increase an endorsement of it's an April Fool's joke on the consumer. Knotney said he got the idea of his happy hour, which made 65 motorists very happy, from a retired customer who said it was pretty hard for him and his wife to get him along with $120 a week. He asked me whether I give discounts to senior citizens. Knotney said, I said, sure, I gave the gas free and charged the tax he thought was a fine idea, and so did my wife, who was an assistant vice president of the bank. Knotney said he gave all grades of gas away for the cost of the tax and the custom, $927, $1 for each gasoline. Happy Hour's got a few mentions on Worcester radio and TV stations. So 4 guys in 2 cars slept in my station the night before. 1910, and when the rush began, my God, you shouldn't have played. Never seen the place. I never saw so many TV cameras or radio microphones in my lap. Knotney said a Shell station in Auburn will be holding its own happy hour today. Yeah? And this is traffic back down Gifford Street as lucky motorists wait for their turn at the pumps. And WRC Chucky Steve Finnegan work the pumps. Bill Shields, TV4 Eyewitness News in Worcester. A third of Massachusetts residents questioning the survey said they would rather fight an all-out nuclear war than live under communist rule, even if the bombs killed everyone in the United States. 1 in 3 is effect, said better dead than red, said Patrick O'Malley, a senior analyst at UMass Boston Center for Policy Studies, who conducted the poll. It shows how the process of politicization has left a deeply ingrained impression in the public mind of what communist rule would be like, he said. 49% of the 792 state residents questioned for the poll initially indicated that they favored nuclear war over the communist rule. At that group 2 favors, 33% of the entire poll said they would favor. Still, even it meant to the death of everyone in the United States or enemy's country and the population of some other countries as well. O'Malley said that the results indicated a basic difficulty of understanding the scope of nuclear holocaust and an ingrained notion of life under communism. The concept of the nuclear war is so unthinkable that people have difficulty even accepting it. It remains an abstraction even when its consequences are explicitly described, he said. I was surprised that I think of it all of us were centers, said Director Franklin Patterson, that said of the results.
Never wet. Spilled on, but never wet.
Michael Urquhart, in trial for having stabbed his 2 young sons to death 3 years ago, is expected to take the stand today in his own defense. The 27-year-old Medford man is charged with murdering Jason 7, and Jeremy 3 on January 5th, 1980, after he had learned his wife was leaving him and taking the boys with her. Urquhart is expected to testify that he does not remember either his wife telling him that she was having an affair with his boss and was leaving the event afterwards. In Middlesex Superior Court yesterday, civil defense witnesses told of Urquhart's appearance who saw statements in the days before his son's death and is driving his car into a bridge abutment. MC Captain Tom Skio, commanding officer of the Detective Bureau, has been appointed Superintendent of MDC Police. MDC Commissioner William J. Greer announced yesterday. A 30-year veteran, Q55 of Marshfield, has been advanced by the promotional system to the rank of the captain. He is a graduate of the FBI Academy in Virginia. Vineyard Haven, the Martha's Vineyard Company to Tisbury, population 2,972, declared itself a nuclear-free zone last night at a town meeting. 100 people have voted in favor of an article submitted by a petition that would ban all nuclear armaments and associated products from processes from the town.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear is learned making.
A German group of Roxbury residents yesterday went in the first run of the fight with the city to save a victim that dilapidated Cedar Street building in front of the Director's Ball. TV4 Eyewitness News reporter Charlie Austin has a report. The 110-year-old marble front stood building at 28
every weeknight at 11:35, 10:35
Cedar.
Teams like the Clippers trying to overcome injuries here as we get ready.
Street in Boston, Massachusetts. Right here and right here.
Look at Wade now. He's missed 8 out of the last 9 games, but then you have to say to yourself, hamstring. But that playoff
was scheduled to be demolished yesterday, but neighbors who reached into their own pockets to hire an engineer who worked for the strength for the building say they have convinced City Hall to hold off. At least for now, neighbors in the Highland Park area must now find a much of $3,000 to secure the building and then short it up before it could be renovated. If that effort fails, the work concludes that will be back. The building is very unique because of its age and its marble
They have an outstanding front line. But are they...
We saw many villains appeared. People felt we should start trying them and save a few before the city rips them all down, said Ben Happ, an officer in the Neighborhood Association, Boston Retail, and Harvard University alumnus Cindy Mab, representing the university with a permanent professorship designed to strengthen the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Mab, 52, a graduate of the class of 1920, cited Harvard's leadership in the field of higher education as reason for the gift. Mab is chairman of the board of the Stop and Shop Company Incorporated, a prominent different retailer headquartered in Boston. When I was hired in 1916-17, Rab said I was tremendously impressed with the fact that even as freshmen as we had lecturers such men as President A. Lawrence Lowell, George Lyman Kittredge, and Charles Townsend Copeland. Legislative leaders and legislative budget writers told the Caucus administration yesterday that it is proposed $1 billion appropriation for Medicaid is too low and may create a whopping deficit. The state chairman of the state legislature Ways and Means Committee said Senator Chester Atkins and Representative Michael Creedon told Human Service Secretary Manuel Caballo that they doubt the administration can bring about the savings it's hoping for. The proposed $1 billion appropriation in Governor Mike Lester Caucus recommended $7.36 billion budget for the year beginning on July 1st squares with the $1.06 billion anticipated Medicaid spending for this fiscal year. That is the biggest hole in this entire budget. Creedon and I saw that this one whopping deficit in net account. Testifying during the second day of hearings on the governor's budget, recommended that Caballo described national fiscal policies in a mean-spirited way of dealing with people. He said federal policies have seminally increased the burden on the poor, the working poor, and the middle class. Former Governor Edward J. King keeps himself busy these days as he joined the upper ranks of Hill and Knowlton Incorporated, a worldwide public relations and consulting firm. The company announced yesterday. James A. Barr, the company's senior vice president, said the firm's clients represent 1/3 of the Fortune 500 companies. The governor will meet with top executives of corporations around the country on various issues and problems which are confronting the business and the nation. Barr said the governor will not be knocking on press releases. He added, laughing. Our senior consultants to the firm include F.D.G. DeLorenzo, former vice president in charge of the public relations of General Motors, Douglas MacArthur, the second and former ambassador for Japan and Iran, and Najib E. Housby, a former chairman and chief executive officer at Pan American World Airways. In a statement released yesterday by the company, King called to the job an exciting opportunity to help build our company, particularly our growth industries, at a critical period in our history. Strengthening and developing our economy to the 1980s and beyond that has to be number one in the country's domestic agenda in both the private and public sectors, King said. He will work out in the firm's Northeast Regional Office with clients throughout the country, and Sell was not disclosed. Before serving as governor from 79 and 83, King was executive director of the Massachusetts Board of 40 and the first president of New England Council.
Blake Griffin with 23 points apiece for the Clippers. Jordan Hill led the Lakers.
A small-town Illinois insurance salesman is persuaded with fatal jury that he was within his rights not to file IRS tax returns for 4 years, urged all taxpayers yesterday to do what he did. Payment gone, a 44-year-old from Sycamore, Illinois, in New England, to spread the word to anyone who will listen to the Herald. I cited the U.S. Constitution, the Federal Criminal Code, the IRS Code, and the information about the IRS prints about the Privacy Act in 1040 return format. Ken concluded that the IRS had a right to collect income taxes, but that he was not bound to follow volunteer information. The First Amendment guarantees that the right to free speech. He said, but that means I also have the right to say nothing. My argument is that the IRS shouldn't do the work again in the facts and figures for individual taxpayers and send them to the bill. Garland did not file tax returns for 1966 and 1979 when his total income was about $99,000. He did not file them in 1980 and 1981. And I don't intend to file for 82 either, he said.
Also get an incredible deal. Sign up for a Verizon wireless smartphone.
A Dorchester man convicted with a
For April 19th.
wife in a sensational murder trial 18 years ago was later released, was charged yesterday with a $375,000 robbery of a Seekonk bank last month. William Robert Doherty, 43 of Coder Street, was arrested by the FBI without incident Monday night at his home. Federal authorities last night indicated Doherty, the same man who was sentenced with his wife Jennison and named first 1965 shotgun murder of Robert W. Davis of Boston. Davis was shot in the chest as he slept on a couch in Doherty's apartment. The couple was found guilty of being an accessory to the murder and given life sentence without parole. Later, Massachusetts Supreme Court overturned his conviction while upholding hers. Doherty was subsequently sentenced to 3 to 7 years as accessory and released. Doherty was arraigned yesterday morning on federal bank robbery charges before U.S. Magistrate Joyce Alexander ordered held on surety bond of $75,000. Authorities are still seeking the 3 other suspects of the robbery. The FBI said that the 4 men took part in the heist March 7 at the Seekonk Bridge to the Bristol County National Bank.
Amid chaos, they created order, getting help to those in
A 36-year-old Vermont man described as one of New England's biggest manufacturers of angel dust faces 10 years in prison and after.
Boston Strong. 1 year later,
Pleading guilty yesterday to federal drug charges at U.S. District Court in Boston. Felix Cadell, III of Northampton Village, Vermont, was arrested on journey by federal drug agents who seized 4 pounds of phencylamine or PCB, which has an estimated street value of nearly $300,000 or 40 cents. The drugs were found in a storage center rented by Cabell and dated after his arrest. Police seized 100,000 pounds to 100 pounds of chemical suspect that being used to manufacture the drug at the home Cabell was rented in Jackson, New Hampshire. Drug enforcement officials have described the Cabell as one of the key manufacturers of the powerful tranquilizer in the 6-state region. Cabell is scheduled to be sentenced by Judge David Elson on May 2nd. He faces up to 10 years in prison and a $25,000 fine.
The fire at a popular Foxborough function hall is many.
A court battle loomed yesterday between the state and federal government allowing double Wiggins to ride in State House. Dan Way has a report.
Proms, also the casualty on the
Federal law allowing tandem trailer trucks to use. Interstate roads takes effect today, but state officials said yesterday that state law only permits the big rigs on the Massachusetts Turnpike. State Transportation Secretary Fred Silverchi said the double bottom trucks are banned everywhere on the Turnpike and they won't be permitted anywhere else until the law is changed. That's the current state law, so until the law is changed, that's what the state police will enforce, said Silverchi. Salvucci said that has already asked the Federal Highway Administration to limit double truck-to-trailer rigs to parts of the interstate highway system outside 495 and the Turnpike up to Austin section of Boston. We will be found legislation to allow these changes, he said. We are trying to work very closely with Transportation Committee. The House and Senate Chairman are very concerned about what the federal law allows. Once we get a change in the state law, it will be up to the Federal Transportation Secretary to see if we have combined with the spirit of the law or if we want to go to the court of change charges. I would hope that it will be not necessary. Meanwhile, it will take time before the federal law actually goes into effect. Although this is allowed to begin tomorrow, the industry is not really geared up to take advantage of it, he said. Norman Vanessa, Massachusetts Administrator for the Federal Highway Administration. What's happening is that Federal Highway Administration and coming out of the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve today with a policy statement how they are going to implement that section in the law. Anyway, TV4 Eyewitness News. That fellow in the cellar has done it again. Representative William a grandpa who courts controversy in the legislature has been moved all his furniture from his basement office in the State House to a nearby corridor.
Hey, but it's left many reeling, wondering if their dream weddings are just that.
Switzler said the reason he shifted into space is because a $1,000 petition Wheatley added to his office cut off any views he had from his windows. Switzer, a man with his booming voice who's been a constant point in the Democratic leadership and a nagging about the same kind of state spending, also shouldn't
I think she speaks for a lot of people.
have said he could not be part because of the new petition. So yesterday moved 2 desks, a filing cabinet and chair, and then other items from the allotted office space in room 35 to the corridor. This did not sit well with Representative Richard T. Moore. Democratic expert chairman of the Committee of the State Administration who said that the petition protests Representative Switler's refusal to remain in his assigned private office and his relocated furniture to the corridor seems petty and immature.
Themselves from being responsible.
Conlman Jarrett, the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Boston, entered the St. Elizabeth Hospital yesterday for the treatment of his stomach disorder. The 67-year-old prelate was admitted to the hospital as a prelate at a precautionary measure. Said he felt for a spokesman for the Archdiocese. He has suffered from gastroenteritis, which is not considered serious. We expected it to be released in a few days. Gastroenteritis is an inflammation of the stomach and its intestines. The Cardinal was hospitalized 4 times in a little more than a year for symptoms related to exhaustion and hypertension. He was hospitalized last November in Rome while attending a meeting of the Congregation of Bishops when he was treated for fluctuating blood disease and blood pressure.
Sunday's downpours, but some low-lying roads are just.
Boston School Superintendent Robert Spain and the head of the citywide Parents Council yesterday swapped bitter charges and counter charges on how asbestos in the schools should be handled. Fact claiming virtually all Boston schools have asbestos. Blaine, England dismissed the simmering controversy about apparent health hazards in the schools. Standing on behalf of the large parent organization appealed for school department control of the asbestos problem while explaining their accused. Stanton have staged a media event with the controversy of having someone from the department at the Monday Monday night meeting of concerned parents to see. Yesterday, confirmation became during a regular school meeting of the Boston School Committee, at which the committee unanimously recommended playing for $10,000 a year raise to $70,000 subject to the city council approval. Sandin presented the school department with a list of 5 recommendations aimed at careful removal of asbestos from schools. Explaining quickly in both the suggestions a deliberate attempt to keep people concerned about the issue. The exchange followed a joint announcement by State Education Commissioner John Lawson and State Ways and Means Committee Chairman Chester Atkins indicated that the asbestos has been found in the 479 public schools around the state. They said that it would cost between $47 million and $65 million to clean up the
with knives while they were responsible.
They're causing an immolation, and they hope that to create a state-funded pool of $50 million to help communities with the cleanup. Approximately 1 of 5 479 schools in the Boston's public school system.
Plymouth is honoring the memory of Officer Gregory.
Willoughby McNeil took the stand in his own defense yesterday and repeatedly denied that he set out to defraud the Boston Retirement Board in 1981 when he applied for received a $36,000 annual disability pension.
Richardson is live in Plymouth. Rondell?
The defense opened and closed its arguments on its 4th day at the former city budget director's pension fund in the trial in the United States District Court. Closing arguments were solidified later today when trial resumes, which it did. McNeil, 53, was on the stand for almost 2 hours and accounted for a federal jury how he fell February 15, 1937 on patch of on an 8th floor quarter of the City Hall.
For the 7 p.m.
The budget official said he was on his way to the city real property division when he stepped off the elevator and saw the gas patch. I thought I'd step around, my feet went out and I came down on my rear, he said. The gray-haired former official said he did not begin to connect the
He was a top rider.
Following with recurrent back pain and subsequent surgery until he visited a chiropractor later in 1981. McNeil also testified that he did not intend to deceive when he submitted an accident report in 1981, but dated it 1977. That was strictly recorded keeping to me. I didn't realize that on my retirement if I had intended to defraud, I would have constructed it differently, he said at a tinge of sarcasm. On cross-examination, Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Cordy pressed McNeil about discrepancies in an accident reports and his version in 1977 fault. Did you write? I was leaving the real property department to inspect some property rather than going on through it as far as testified. Cordy asked. I was going to inspect some property. My secretary probably read it like that. My handwriting was not very good, McNeil said. McNeil witnesses he listed on an accident report and not seen him fall, but he said he thought the question referred only to the person aware of his bad backs. Defense witness also attested to McNeil's character for honesty and truthfulness, including former City Council President Lawrence Secara, Boston Municipal Research Head Selma Tyler, and Firefighter Union President Michael Mullane.
Rondella Richardson, WCVB News Center 5.
There are promising leads tonight in the search for that.
France expelled 47 Soviet diplomats, journalists, and others, accusing them of espionage. The Interior Ministry said that the activities that centered on high technology in the armed forces and had the gravity and extended activities justified the immediate expansion of the expulsion. The expulsion of 47 Soviet Union officials for intentional and unsolved murder and friendly of a French counter-espionage officer. Intelligence officials at the time said new information raised the possibility that the officer, Lieutenant Colonel Bernard Nutt, had been slain by a double agent. Colonel Nutt had been reporting providing information on links between Bulgarian intelligence and the attempt on the life of Pope John Paul II. Support for the King Hussein was urged by the Reagan administration and appealed to the Palestinian and other Arab leaders to help persuade the Jordanian monarchs to end the Middle East peace negotiations, not lose, but uncalled for this unique moment for the rebound in the talks. Internal divisions that Israel have been arisen because of the poverty, discrimination, and the ethnic tension about Jews. The country's 3.5 million Jews are divided along the lines of ethnic background, education, and common cultural heritage. Concern over the policy in Nicaragua was expressed by Senator Howard H. Baker Jr., the majority leader. He said many in the state college were deeply worried about reports that the Reagan administration has actively supported rebels against the Zionist government. 2 senators warned that such a policy would violate both the United States law and the Charter of OES.
More than 1,000 sonobuoys made by
East, West, Stockton, and Central America are proposed in an 82-page report issued by a group of prominent United States and Latin American citizens the appeal to the United States and the Soviet Union and Cuba to hold a many-sided dialogue with Central American countries to find ways to end the fighting in the region. Iran and Iraq have agreed to principles to cooperate with the cleaning up the Persian Gulf oil spill. From Iranian wells, according to the United Nations officials, this spill now covers 7,500 square miles in the Gulf. President Reagan has dug in over his proposed 10% real growth in the military budget, according to participants in a meeting between Mr. Reagan and key Senate Republican leaders. They warned him that his military spending goal would never clear the Republican-controlled Budget Committee and the Senate. The meeting lasted an hour longer than the 45 minutes scheduled. A rocket malfunction prevented a communications satellite that launched the Space Shuttle Challenger from reaching its intended orbit as it apparently tumbled in temporarily out of control, but flight controls re-established contact and hoped to correct the orbit so the satellite could begin operations. A more flexible and armed statement was made public by the Committee of the American Roman Catholic Bishops, Joseph Cardinal Vernon, Chairman and panel. Said 150-page third draft of the proposed pastoral letter addressed the criticism of a previous draft by government and church, but as well still maintaining the basic moral thrust of earlier versions. The bishops repeated their call for the total opposition to nuclear war and war disarmament. Both candidates for the mayor of Chicago made major shifts in the TV advertising campaigns and the strategy to steal in on undecided white voters were expected to play a decisive role in the racially polarized race. The pollsters for both Minority Epton, the white Republican, and Harold Washington, the black Democrat, believe that the next Tuesday's election will be very, very close.
Starting in 1995. It's
Alright.
and some talented casts are getting honored for their performances off stage.
On to the weather now. Here now. Boost. Sugar. Take away, Boost. Okay, thank you very much, Jack and Liz. Right now, our current edition's apps.
Any occasional cliffhanger, and the stars are much brighter than the ones on the red carpet. But the best part? I get to be the paparazzi.
Hurry in for great deals on the award-winning Jeep brand.
6 p.m. here in Boston, Massachusetts on this Wednesday, April the 6th, 1983. We got a temperature of 50 degrees. That temperature with a dew point about 35 degrees. Humidity 57%. Barometer 3.08 inches. Physically 50 miles. Winds east southeast about 11 in condition. Mostly cloud skies. Here.
Norwegian breakaway from New York and Norwegian Dog.
Okay, let's take a look at our current editions. We have the region at 6 p.m. reports. It is now down to 59 in Norwood, 55 in Falmouth, 54 in Hyannis, 52 in Martha's Vineyard, 50 in Nantucket, 51 in Down Block Island, 57 in Providence and in Worcester, 60 in Springfield, 60 in Windsor, 59 in Hartford, 59 in New Haven, 52 in Bridgeport, 53 in New London, it's 52 in Pittsfield, 56 in New York City, and in Albany, New York, 50 in Burlington, Vermont, 40 in Montreal, Vermont, 26 in Mount Washington, 55 out in Concord, New Hampshire, 57 in Manchester, New Hampshire, 58 in Manchester, New Hampshire, 58 in Pottsville, New Hampshire, 55 in Portland, Maine, 59 in Brunswick, 52 in Augusta, and 53 in Bangor, Maine. Here, let's take a look at our satellite loop. It shows satellite cloud picture. Recorded 8:30 p.m. shows thick, heavy thunderstorm clouds over the south.
Lyra developed a high fever and rash, interfering signal, and got the Coast Guard to reach them just
around in the nation today. Showers and thunderstorms descending from the Alabama across the lower Mississippi Valley, and rain showers reach from Virginia to southern New England and western across the Howard and Tennessee valleys. Also scattering over the Mississippi Valley, the plains from Kansas to southern Texas and northern New Mexico, and becoming still over the mountains of Wyoming and Colorado across southern Utah and northern Arizona, and skies were cloudy over the Missouri Valley, but generally fair over the remainder of the nation. High temperatures will be in the 30s from southern Wisconsin across much of the Mississippi Valley and the central plains and Wyoming and much of Colorado. Temperatures reach near 40 degrees over northern New England and the lower 60s around the northern Pacific coast, and about 70 degrees across the southern California and inland southwest. Near 70 degrees about southern Texas and the mid-80s over much of Florida. Here,
He's created a positively strong campaign.
tonight's forecast of the Boston area will go like this. For tonight,
Hey, Jessica, up with a service.
partly cloud skies will lower and 40 degrees, winds north about 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, cloud skies, gently 950 degrees. Here,
how to cheer us up. He knows how to comfort
for Cape Cod and Announce, Park Cod tonight, lows about 40 degrees, north winds about less than 10 miles per hour. Cloudy tomorrow with a chance of rain, highs in the upper 40s. For 7 New England, Park Cod tonight, except cloudy with a chance of rain, have along the coast, lower around 40 degrees, cloudy tomorrow with a chance of rain, high to 50 degrees. Northern New England tonight, scattered flurries, north and clear sky, with lows with the upper 20s and low 30s, at sunny tomorrow with highs in the 40s and the 50s. Pictures, Park Cod tonight, with lows in the upper 30s, and north winds at less than 10 miles, and tomorrow, cloudy with a chance of rain, high to 50 degrees, and our area extended forecast Friday. Generally fair weather expected highs in the 40s and lows in the 30s. Saturday, fair mild with highs edging up in the 50s and lows sinking into the 30s. And Sunday, expect fair weather today, so you won't be disappointed on Sunday highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. Here,
Tablet your desktop. You said find us everywhere. Spring in New England. The only
low
constant change.
And sunset 6:15 p.m., which is about 13 minutes ago. Turn on headlines about 6:45 p.m., which is 17 minutes from now. Where? New moon, April 13th, 2:59 a.m. First quarter moon, April 20th, 3:58 a.m. Full moon, April 27th, 1:32 a.m. And last quarter moon, May 4th, at 10:44 p.m. And Bowden, Boston Harbor, northwest winds about 10-15 knots by today, becoming north at 10 knots by late tonight, and temperatures in the upper 40s with waves at 1 foot or less all day. In Buzzard Bay, northwest winds about 10-15 knots by today, decrease at 10 knots by late tonight, and temperatures be upper 40s with waves to 1 to 2 feet all day. Yeah? And that's going to be the weather for now. I'm Bruce Redick, so we have a good evening then.
Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Its powerful anti-inflammatory stops more, relieving your worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for a full 24 hours. It's
our good friend Joyce.
Now available without one. New Nasacort. Now available at Walmart.
It is a fitting way
Nope.
to honor our hero's memory.
Let's get to the Bob Lobel on the sports. Take it away, Bob.
Into physical fitness.
Alright, thank you, Biss. Thank the Boston Celtics will be at the Garden, taking on the New York Knickerbockers. The game can see here on TV4 at 7:30 p.m. In Atlanta, Kevin McHale says there's problems in the negotiation with new contract with the Celtics can stem from what he calls a lack of guarantee before last night's game against the Hawks. The Center for Award has stated that he and Boston management are not far apart as far as money is concerned. I said it has at times that I take less to play in Boston. McNeil noted, and I'm taking fingers which I've asked for them and straight that. Salary really isn't a hang-up. What prevents any progress that the Celtics seem unwilling to give guarantees. Why I signed a contract at less money than I could get elsewhere if they might turn around and trade me. And why sign money I do get for the long-term contract with the guarantee.
Kennedy's favorites. He was a CrossFit instructor.
Well, these problems would be resolved. Will McHale became a free agent that I guess as up to management he said they know for what I'm looking for. Danny Ainge, who played 40 minutes in the absence of both Danny Archibald's thrown left hand and Quinn Buckner sprained right ankle on the value of increased playing time. You can see what
Kenny is a Boston firefighter.
he does from a non-mass, but guys like Charles Bradley and Gerald Anderson, there's definitely more poise and patience once you get into the flow of things. Bird shot 82% from every field ball. Celtics only 76% from the line.
This year, and there were a lot of them donated to work.
Regardless of what the score of the game, one of the Bruins' first round playoff series with Nordics may have been, you can lay a bet on the area of the play that will decide on who moves in and holds. Close home goaltending. Bob Newmeyer has a report. There you go, the hot goalie of the Billy Smith, the New York Islanders en route to his club's third straight cup championship. Smith started 19 games and won 15 of them. If Smith could repeat his magic this time around, the Islanders could make it 4. But both the Bruins and the Nordics are built around a veteran goal.
The event started at 7:30 this morning. It was supposed to wrap up.
New York capable of deciding games pretty much. Perhaps they'll look for Pete Peters or Daniel Bouchard if he gets some defensive help with the big man. Wingers Van Kielsen, Dave Barn, defensive Larry Melinek, and goalie Mike Moffat are joined by Bruins yesterday. The Baltimore skip Josh Willoughby Sunday night from earning them the final AHL playoff berth. Kielsen was promoted to Boston for just 5 games to the season at the Super Minor League season with 32 goals and 13 assists, part 2 and final offensive season with 27 goals and 50 assists. Nick, who should see considerable after the B short defenseman in playoffs, scored 225-27 in which 215 playing minutes. And Moffat, not a great showing by last year's playoff sensation during his 2.5 month stint in the minors that Skipjack even won a great deal, played very tight defense, but Moffat was only a .583 with a 4.99 goals against average. Quebec winger.
Way down here to the south, in parts of Texas right now.
Marian Stanzi would return to his action in his club's final regular season game after missing 2 months with a shoulder fracture, was not expected to be ready last night. He'll go out and program Ramsey, said Coach Michael Bertrand, but don't know how to play. He played just 5 or 6 shifts our last game and he did not look like he was ready. He wants to play, but he want to rush it.
That's key. Remember, as long as his sister...
Peters finished with 40 victories, the most since Ken Dryden had 41 and 36 saves, and believed to be the league record all for goalie stats in the NHL have been officially kept only in the last few years. Peters, 62 games with a boast by Birds goalie sits Eddie shots played in all 70 games in 63-64. Brad Parker is tied for 16th all-time in the playoff score, but may not be able to catch number 15 Bobby Clark, who leads him 150. What said the only Birds stayed there. First playoff after the look to 4 and Gord Kluzak. Bob Lobel, TV4 Sports. There.
Notice the cloud cover coming in. The rain, though, is still way out.
The Boston Breakers, the USFL Football Club, have a date with television. Boston game against the Oakland Invaders Sunday. Next available will be ABC TV, a game of the week. It'll be shown on WCVB TV, Channel 5 at 1:30 p.m. I think
That's when we'll see our
we're the only team that
This will kind of be
that hadn't had some kind of TV coverage, whether ABC, ESPN, or local coverage, said
There's gonna be a whole lot of
Breakers spokesman Gary Gill said might hurt ticket sales, no blackout in effect, but what the heck? The guys' players deserve it. The Breakers will be show dog the East Coast and over most of the country.
before you
Some sections will see the South will see the Birmingham Chicago game.
around Boston around an inch, but perhaps a little bit more down here to the south. Typically, this would not be any issue at all for us. We could handle this much rain, but we got
Jim Rass served notice yesterday that's not going to stand still if he feels he's been thrown at. With noticeably few exceptions, Rass has shrugged off tight pitches and not being hit with nothing more than a stare. That's the pass. He said the Red Sox clubhouse found a 7-1 opening day victory over the Toronto Blue Jays and then falling into a confrontation between him and Jays right fielder Jay Stephen V. A fastball sailed and Rass has had grazing him on the hand, and the Sox left-hander picked himself up and walked towards the mound. Catcher Ernie Witt cut in front of Rass and wound up with a sore left shoulder from doing a good job of keeping him away from till second base umpire Ken Kaiser, former heavyweight professional wrestler. I haven't seen that I should have got in a race for stepping in front of him. Witt said,
Thursday, and with that,
was he serious? Somebody asked. My shoulder should feel fine, he responded.
more than anything, and most of us won't see any of that. Friday, there's
Both benches and bullpens emptied and milled around the infield, but nothing further happened. Nobody, including plate umpire Larry Barnett, felt West was being thrown at, but as the left-hander explained,
next weekend, but
how did I know that the situation?
forecast.
How can I tell? At that moment, he went on. It was a reaction. I wasn't sitting on the plate, and actually had John and Warden for hitting one of their guys earlier.
Sports Center 5 with Mike Lynch.
It's part of
30's going to help me. 130.
baseball to protect your hitters, and when the pitcher came into my head, I reacted. Bryce went on. State, who said he was a little surprised when Bryce started after him, said he thought that the action was more show than anything else. Show! Let me find me again, we'll see what happens. State felt Bryce may have been upset at earlier inside pitches, but I said the one that hit him and it was a fastball that tailed. It's as simple as that. Bryce had tried broken bones when he hit Brandon Rubel on the trade keeping down the postseason, playing 1975 with a pitch that broke his left hand, and Chris Knapp and the California Angels put him on the disabled list in midseason when he broke his left wrist of the pitch. But he's never gone to the mound with a exception in 1978 when he charged Jim Copeland and the Milwaukee Brewers after being hit. He's yelled a few pitches. Paul McLaughlin of Oakland A's was the latest when he sailed a pitch over his head last year, but he's never shown much emotion on a man other occasion. But as he said yesterday, it's all in the past.
Bradley Jr. going to first base is called out.
Augusta, Georgia, third. This is a time by testing for Arnold Palmer. Perhaps the most loved golf figure, has produced an turn a critical, probably disastrous stage of his career. At the age of 53, gray-haired and more than a decade past his last regular tour triumph, he has tested himself, his game, his ability, and his desire and determination. He is testing himself to determine whether he will continue to play the game and lives well, or at least retire. His performance this week in Masters, the tournament that did so much to build upon the legend, will be one of the key factors in the decision. After he exemptions for all the majors this year, Al Palmer noted that the way I perform in the majors very well could determine whether I will continue to play. I mean, decision I have to make this year. I will not play for a long time. I cannot continue playing like that. I will not embarrass myself. I will either play better or play not all. Palmer is not taking it lightly, not casually. He is working at it. He is working at it. It's harder than he was in last years. He will give himself a full thorough testing, and then he will decide. He is a fit in the trim, actually weighs less than he did 10 years ago. He runs 2 or 3 miles on a daily basis. He practices for hours. I'm very pleased with my strength, he said before practice ran for the famed Masters, which begins tomorrow on the Augusta National Golf Club course. I'm driving it very long enough to stay up with some other strong young players. That's important and it's encouraging. His work has been showing some positive results in the 6 starts this season. He's won 12,301 more than in game in the 2 previous seasons combined. Most of that comes from the Los Angeles Open, where for one brief shining moment then he finally held the share of the lead, but he played poorly over the last 9 holes and tied for 10th. It wasn't ready for it. He said, it's been so long since I had been there. I wasn't ready for it, but it was very encouraging, very encouraging. Sometimes I think I'm right there. I went there. It didn't just a matter of putting it all together. I played well at times. Like at Los Angeles, I played well for 60 holes, and I need to play well for 72 holes. He will test that ability to play well for the busiest summer I've ever had.
After a couple of free throws, Wisconsin led by 2.
Dublin, Ireland, a deadline for the release of the $13 million Italian sugar pass yesterday without any standard that the champion North London was kidnapped 8 weeks ago, police said. Anonymous caller had telephoned the Irish State Radio Network twice Monday to promise. Shoggar's release, he was believed to be the same man who had claimed a ransom of $1.95 million had been paid Saturday. He said the horse would be released yesterday. The horse had not been paid. No ransom had been paid. We never did that, treating the color seriously. A Dublin police spokesman said, adding, we haven't been expecting Shoggar's release in the same way we have been expecting it over the last 2 months. The Aga Khan, the 35-member consortium that owns the 119 when the English and Irish derbies 10-9 any ransom unpaid.
What it all means in the change.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, if you had any doubts about the accuracy of the statement that what goes around comes around, just look at the case of one guy v. Lewis. Monday morning, Lewis was on the top of the world. His University of Houston basketball team was being proclaimed as one of the best coach teams ever. He also just been named Associate Press Coach of the Year. Tuesday morning, they weren't calling Guy V a genius anymore. In light of the shocking errors of coaching and commission omission that led to Houston's 54-52 loss to North Carolina State and Monday night's NCAA championship game. The Edmonton Oilers non-parallel center Wayne Gretzky, who fired in 4 game-winning goals, among his 17 goals and 25 assists during the team's last 15 games of the season, was named National League Player of the Month. Gretzky, the 22-year-old whiz kid, who notched his 3rd consecutive Art Ross trophy and league scoring champion, helped the Oilers to a 12-2-1 record in the final month in a sweep the Smack division by 28 points over Calgary. This season, Gretzky became the first player in NHL history to score more than 78 goals in 2 seasons. With the league leading 71 in 1982-83, he also set up 125 goals to break his own record for assists of 120 in the native Brantford, Ontario. Also led the league in the shot-end goals with 6 shots on goal with 348. In Sacramento, California, a high school football coach and his wife had been arrested on charges of operating a brothel and offering sadistic sexual acts for $80. Sacramento Sheriff's deputy said Bill Benton, 41, was charged Sunday with a conspiracy and placing his wife in a house of prostitution. Benton has been the head football coach at Elk Grove High School for 9 years. Last fall, he led his team to the Cal State playoffs after posting an 8-win regular season. And that's going to be the Eyewitness News, the evening edition on this Wednesday, April 6, 1983. I'm Jack Williams outside Liz Walker and Bob LaBelle Bush Sugar saying, have you have a good evening, and we'll be back for the Eyewitness News Nightcast 11 p.m. Have a good evening. Next on NBC will be the NBC Nightly News.
It's not a question of if, but when. Boston's
With
1 year later, WCB special coverage.
Tom Brokaw coming to next on TU4 at 7. Have a good evening. See you at 11.